Welcome, everybody, to another Staffing Sharks Review It. I'm Richard Rosner, and I have an incredible guest today. We have Dale in the house from eCAPITAL. What's up, Dale?
How are you, Richard?
Good, man. Good. And I say this on every show, and I'm going to say it again. 4 more days, we will be in Denver.
I can't wait.
Oh,
yeah, it should be a great time.
I know. The first time an actual big conference in, 2 years almost?
It's been a while. I think our last one was 2019. So yeah, we're itching to get out for some human contact for sure.
I know, that's 24 months. That's more silver in my hair now. You won't even recognize me.
I have less hair, but that's okay.
Oh man, there you go. But hey, Dale, let's just deep dive into you, my man. Just tell us a little bit about you and your business.
Yeah, so I'm a staffing veteran, if you will. Started in the staffing industry way back, 97. Started as a recruiter and actually owned my own staffing company for about 7 years.
Oh,
so, it was healthcare related. So I was placing nurses and other types of candidates and got into the pharmaceutical. So I have a deep background in that. And then started in the funding business right around 2007. So I've been funding staffing companies literally for the last 15 years. So it's been, I love the staffing industry. It's been a great run, from both sides of the business. So currently, obviously, with eCAPITAL, and we're supporting the staffing company. We're looking forward to the show, and we'll be there. But just looking forward to getting out and seeing old friends and meeting new ones for sure.
Exactly. Well, that many years in the staffing industry, you're like a pioneer, is what I'm going to call you, right? You've seen it. You've seen it all. You've seen advertisements in a newspaper to what we got now, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I remember faxing in resumes. So if that takes you back, anyway.
Faxing in resumes. Wow. Can you imagine now, like a Gen Z faxing in at something? Does anybody even use a fax anymore? It's all e-fax, right?
It's all e-fax, correct. PDFs and all the rest. So yeah, I've seen the industry go through, obviously some booms. I've seen them go through some tough times. 2008, 2009 was a little tough, but yeah, we're seeing it. Obviously with COVID, there was a lot of industries that were affected there. So I've been through both the good times and the bad for sure.
I got to ask you one question before we deep dive into it. Do you think this change is one of the biggest changes you've seen in the staffing industry? How it's like just revolving right now?
It's huge. So people, I think, had to go back and rethink how they run their business. And, some of them had probably cut some corners or cut some fat from their business that they wouldn't normally have to do. Because, when you're blowing and going as an owner of a business, things are good when things are good. But when they start getting tightened up, perfect example is the hospitality industry. I mean, I live in New Orleans. We live on hospitality. That's what we do. And, when they start shutting down Mardi Gras and, all events, then, that affects the staffing industry. So, but we're seeing it come back, which is great. People are starting to get out more. We're getting the vaccinations out. It's coming back, but it's really, I think it's caused business owners to really review kind of all of their processes, procedures, their hiring, directives, and really they've come out of this stronger. The ones that survived have come out stronger.
I totally agree on that. You got to change. I always say challenges equals change. I'm telling you, Dale, if you're not changing in the staffing industry, the way you recruit and stuff like that, you're going to be left behind.
Yeah. Absolutely. And obviously we're seeing a lot of new technology out there. Everybody's on a smartphone these days. They're recruiting on their smartphone. They're, filling positions. They're, all the timekeeping, everything that goes along with running a staffing company is becoming more mobile. I mean, when I had my staffing company, we had Katrina hit. And when Katrina hit, I mean, you had a flip phone. You didn't have all the technology that you have today. So it made it extremely tough to run a staffing company when you had no visibility, no any. I mean, faxes weren't running at that point. You know?
Exactly. And I think one last point here is the job seekers out there, they have so many people going after them, recruiters, that
Yep.
it's almost like you got to place them that day. I mean, or you got to keep them engaged or they're just going to ghost you.
Absolutely.
Everything's at fast pace, which I love it. I mean, I'm hyped up all the time anyway. I'm thinking, this is great, man. Our industry's never boring. That's one thing I'll say about it, my man.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And I love the owners in this industry. I mean, it's interesting. You know, these guys, they live by a different set of rules, which is great. I mean, they're free flowing. You know, the guys, a lot of them are great operators, great business developers, and just fun to be with. So yeah, I enjoy this industry.
Awesome. So let's talk about eCapital. I mean, without finances, we don't have a company. So yeah, from step one to all the way to the end, my man, of what you guys actually do.
Yeah, so eCapital is well-heeled within the staffing industry. I mean, we've got 22 years of experience of providing that critical working capital. And when you talk about working capital, it's if they don't meet payroll this week, they are out of business. So the first time that you miss payroll, you've lost your employees, you've probably lost the accounts that you're placing your reps with. So what we provide is a critical component of any business, really, but really in the staffing industry. They're placing their people this week. Next week, they've got to get paid. If those two don't connect, then they're out of business. So what we have done is, you know, we work with clients here in the U.S. We also have a presence in Canada and then in the UK as well. So we're a growing organization. And what we like to say is we have the cash flow that you can count on. We get it to you faster. We get it to you with more flexibility, and we get you the most money that you can, that's available to you. So when I say fast, a lot of times when a staffing owner approaches me, his hair's on fire, you know, or her hair is on fire, you know, whoever it might be. You know, they've come to me, they're with a bank, you know, the bank has tapped them out. They don't have any more credit availability, or they've just landed that well, you know, that huge account that takes them from, you know, a very small staffing company to a much larger staffing company. They need that credit availability to be able to grow their business. And so, you know, banks are typically, you know, they look at past history. We look at forward looking. So in order to, if someone comes to me with their hair on fire, what we would try to do is get them approved as quickly as possible so that we can get money out the door. So whether it's the original onboarding or whether it's on a weekly basis, you know, we're funding same day or within 24 hours of when they present their funding package each week. And then as they grow their company, if they do land that well, within 24 hours, we've extended their credit facility to be able to handle that. So that's, you know, one point is, you know, our speed to closing, if you will, so that we can get some cash out the door. The next thing is flexibility, because staffing companies are all unique. We're all unique individuals.
Oh, tell me about that.
But every staffing company has a unique situation. And if we don't have flexibility, you know, we're really, you know, kind of up against it so for instance, let's say a company has a tax lien, or the owner has filed for personal bankruptcy, or their clients, you know, the bank's not happy with some of their clients. We have to be flexible. We have to adapt. We have to be agile enough to say we can overcome a tax lien or a personal bankruptcy, or we can provide more cash, you know, based on the credit strength of your clients. So we have to be flexible. You know, the last thing is the most money. So traditional lenders, you know, we do receivables financing. So traditional lenders are going to say, okay, we'll give you 75, maybe 80% of the value of whatever that we're funding, if it's AR or inventory or whatever that may be. Our advance rates are typically 90 to 95%. So now they're getting more of their money up front. Now they have the ability to cover that payroll and then have some money for themselves. And then, really providing as robust a line of credit as possible. So we look at today's numbers, but then if we have a forecast that, hey, we're at this point today, but tomorrow we're going to be here, in 6 months we're going to be here, we want to allow for them to have enough credit availability so they're not, we just kind of roll them into whatever credit line that they need. So those are the 3 points. Really, fast approvals, not a lot of red tape, reducing a lot of that red tape that traditional lenders, look at, and then, getting them as much money as they need to grow their business.
That is good stuff. So, Dale, how about startup companies? Tell me a little bit about that. Say I'm a startup company, I come to you. Is it an easy process?
It is, and it's probably quicker than someone that's existing. So we have a lot of people that approach us that would say, I'm a regional manager from XYZ company. Mm-hmm. I want to start my own. And that's kind of how I got started in the business. Was I was a recruiter. I went through the process, and then I said, you know what? I can do this myself. So I started. Me too. So, in all, if you've got somebody that has some staffing experience that says, I've got a better way, I've got the contacts, I've got, the wherewithal to be able to do this. Now, sometimes they need a little coaching, and that's where we try to help, educate them. There's a lot of other vendors to the industry, software, background checks, pay cards, there's other things that we can refer out and say, look, if you're putting together your business, let's walk you through the steps. Let's walk you through, what are you paying your employees? How are you marking it up? What are your profits? How do you manage that? So we provide the funding, but also the tools for them to be successful. Because if they've never done it before, it's really tough. So we love startups. I mean, someone that can just, hey, hit the ground running. I've got 2 new clients. I'm ready to roll. So that's, that's easy for us.
And it sounds like when you want to grow, it's so easy to get a bigger line of credit. If you keep growing, you're going to throw it at them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've got a story, and really one of our success stories was a client that I took on probably about 6 years ago, and they were with a bank. This is a healthcare, they do travel nursing. So they were growing at one point. They had a couple of quarters where they had, the business went down. They were retooling their business. Well, they missed some covenants within their bank line. The bank wasn't happy with that. They weren't large enough for the bank. So the bank officer called and said, hey, would you guys be interested in a healthcare staffing company? And I said, absolutely. So we quickly, transitioned them from the bank over to us. And the original credit line was like $3 million. So decent sized company, they were doing, a decent amount of business, and then COVID hit. So their business went from, a decent sized business to quadrupling pretty much overnight, because nurses were in demand all over the country. So what we did was we took them from 3 million to 10 million pretty much overnight, or, within a short amount of time. So now they have the ability to take on all of that extra business. And then we just recently increased their business or their line of credit to 14 million. So you can literally take a company, and it's not like we had to go back and reinvent the wheel. We just said, you've got new clients. We brought them on, we increased their line, and now they're able to, to continue to grow their business. So that was a great success story for us. And one that it's pretty common if a company is growing, for us to be able to just say, look, we want to support you. We're your partner. We want to be there for you. we're not going to penalize your growth. I've seen banks, actually say you need to slow down a little bit, and pay off your loan. No. Staffing owners don't want to hear that. And we don't either. We want to hear we've got new business.
Exactly. And one thing I take away from that, you guys care. You
Yes.
really do, Dale. And then with you've seen both sides. So it's a true to heart thing for you. I mean, you've seen both sides and you see how it can go good or bad on both ways.
Absolutely. So we do use a lot of technology. So, our innovation is, we did some acquisitions, over the last 3 years. So, bringing up the technology. So we work with companies that sometimes they're not direct to their clients. So maybe they're using a managed service provider or a VMS. Mm-hmm. We understand the technology that's involved in that because they're now a sub to maybe a larger staffing company. So we understand that whole process of they have to bill the staffing company has to bill the end client and bring it back. So a lot of times what I find if someone approaches me, they'll say, my lender doesn't understand this and they don't want to do this. And I'm like, why?
Yeah, you're like, well, that's more business for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think having the deep roots, 25 years, and we've supported, throughout our company over 18,000 clients. So, or customers or whatever you want to call it. And we've funded about 22 billion in capital over those years. So it's, we understand the industries that we're in. We love staffing. Staffing is near and dear to my heart and a lot of people within this industry. And obviously our back office team, once it transitions from, hey, you're approved to the back office, then you've got operators in the back that understand their business that try to not put up roadblocks to help them succeed and grow.
Man, is that good stuff. Man, you guys are awesome. So now it's time for the fun part. Staffing World. Tell us a little bit about Staffing World and what you guys are doing at your booth.
Yeah, so absolutely. So we'll be there. I think I've been to the last 15, so I'll probably see some people there that I know.
I think a little bit, right?
Maybe so. But yes, so we're at booth 533. So we have. You're going to want to come by our booth. So we're giving away a $2,000 Southwest vacation voucher. So you scan a QR code, you come by our booth, say hello, visit, and yes, $2,000 vacation. In addition to that, on Wednesday night, so that I believe that's the 29th, we have a cocktail reception, which will be from 4:30 to 6:30. So free drinks, hors d'oeuvres, come by, say hello. We're really looking forward to that. Is meeting people. Being in a booth is one thing, but meeting people outside of that is going to be great. So we've got a lot planned for the show.
You have a lot going on. I just want to tell you, the cocktail hour, the shark will be there. So you all got to show up, man. Get a photo picture with me, man. Come on, it's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. And just throw out their $2,000 vacation. Dale, I'm going to throw this out right now. I'm already putting my name in right now. Boom, just now. I'm the first one.
Want to get away?
That's right. Just let you all know, I got to start on everybody else. So, and the drawing stops tomorrow, right? So I can win.
We've got your name and your name only, Richard. That's it.
That's awesome. But no, that sounds like you guys are going to have an awesome time there in Staffing World. I can't wait to meet you and the team. A great financial solution. I'm telling anybody out there, you got to stop by the booth. Even if you are in an industry for 20 years or you're a startup, talk to Dale, man. I'm telling you what, he's true to heart, man. But hey, brother, I just want to tell you straight again, man. I'm excited to see you at Staffing World. 4 days away, brother. 4 days.
I can't wait. Yeah, no, we're excited. We've got 6 of us that are going, so we'll have lots of representation there, and really just looking forward to again meeting new people, but also seeing a lot of old friends in the industry.
Sounds great. So hey, we're gonna leave it at that. We'll see you guys in Denver. Take care.
Thank you, Richard.
Appreciate it, buddy. Take care, my man.